Well, good morning, everyone. It's Monday, and it's time for some Monday motivation. You know, when I was in high school, I had to do this project where I researched a subject, and then I had to do an oral presentation of what I found, of my information. Well, when it came time for me to do that, the teacher called on me, and I was so nervous that I started laughing. Uncontrollable laughter. I just couldn't stop laughing. I stood up in front of the class and laughed and laughed. Finally, I guess the teacher saw my pain and embarrassment, and she just told me to sit down and write my paper out like a term paper. Thank you, teacher. But here's the thing. If you had told me that day that God would call me into a speaking ministry, I would have, laughed at you. Never in my life would I believe that I could stand up in front of people and speak. Well, Gideon in the Bible is kind of the same way. When God called him into service for him, his words were mighty warrior. That's what he called him, mighty warrior, which is kind of funny because Gideon, when the angel of the Lord appeared to him, was hiding from the enemy. He was threshing wheat in a wine press because he was hiding. And when the angel spoke to him and called him mighty warrior, called him into service, Gideon started listing out his limitations. You know, his family was weak and he was small and all these things. But here's the truth of this, is that God told him to go in the strength you have, that he would be with him. And so that's the truth for us. When God calls us into service, he doesn't just send us out on our own. Where he sends us, he goes, and he always empowers and equips us to do what he has called us to do. So that is your Monday motivation. Go and do what God has called you to do, depending on his strength, depending on his equipping, depending on his power. Now go, mighty warrior.